Dreaming of escaping the grid and living a simpler life? We've been off-grid for 2 years, and this is about letting you know about the good, the bad and the ugly of going off-grid. Is off-grid living all it's cracked up to be? Especially when you add into that, we're off-grid farming. If you're a regular to the channel, thanks for joining us and good to see you. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jason, and along with my wife Yvonne, we moved to an off-grid abandoned farm, small holding, homestead, whatever term you want to use, from our jobs in the city. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's what happened. Just before that, we moved to a small island off the west coast of Scotland. The reason we're here is because I, over a cup of tea, said to a farmer, yes, we would have some orphan lambs. It completely changed our lives. Now, we attempt to live off-grid, and this is our journey through that whole experience. I hope you enjoy it. The good, we get to live somewhere like this, surrounded by this. The bad, there's a lot of bad. The examples of bad are just too many to list, but it goes from simple things breaking down to my heart failing. It's always the stuff you would never think of that has the biggest impact. We had to live in a static caravan for 2 years. It might look great, but it's cold and hard work. The ugly is the ugly truth that it's really expensive in the short term, because everything is bigger and costs more than you ever thought. We started off thinking we could farm in a really simple way, and we've ended up having to buy tractors, vehicles and diggers. So it just chews up money. And the biggest ugly truth is that generating your own power is really expensive to start off with. These batteries, each of them 5,000 watts, about 6,000 each. All of the kit to turn the sun into power you can use, another 15,000, 20,000 pounds. And it goes wrong. Stuff breaks. You have to get it fixed. And if you are truly off-grid, you find that there aren't many people who are truly off-grid. So you have to learn a lot. Even the people who call themselves experts don't get how living off-grid changes everything. And when everything goes wrong and you lose all of your off-grid power, and generated from solar or wind, you need one of these, and that's a generator, so you can kiss goodbye to another 10,000 pounds. The ugly truth is, in the very beginning, the outlay for truly off-grid self-sufficient power is really expensive. But with all that said, there is a silver lining to everything. The good just gets better. Everything becomes more enjoyable. The bad actually turns into so many good things. If something goes wrong and you're motivated to figure out how to fix it yourself, you learn a new skill. Every day you're picking up a new skill, and there's a sense of achievement. So that bad, in the long term, turns into feeling great, a sense of accomplishment. And when it comes to the power, the ugly truth about the power, yes, absolutely. To start off with, it's going to cost you probably everything you've got. But you can burn as much electricity as you like, and in the long term, it's going to end up cheaper. It's going to end up in your control. And for me, that's a positive. So although there are good, bad and ugly moments when going off grid, what I've found is ultimately they all have a positive outcome on how I live life and the things I've learned. However, as with life, not everything goes to plan. And there are some things that, although you wish you could, you can't change. And for me, that's been absolutely the case in the first 6 months of 2025. So I'm going to go on a walk and tell you all about it. If you watched one of my vlogs a few weeks ago, I'll put a link to it up here. You'll know that I had catastrophic heart failure at the beginning of the year and spent 1 or 2 months in hospital just recovering from that. Just completely out of the blue, massive impact on life. Bit of a game changer, really. Now, a day in the life on this off-grid homestead, small holding, little farm, whatever you want to call, now includes a daily walk. I have to walk, well, as far as I can really, as a way of building up strength back into my heart, which is great because it has massive benefits for the rest of my health and well-being. And it's not the worst place to walk around either, but it just means you have to plan things as well, because it can take 1 or 2 hours out of my day. So yeah, it's a big part of my life now. And you know, out of all adversity comes real positive stuff. So for me, I love that I'm getting fitter and healthier. Although I've got a broken heart. It's fascinating. But anyway, so welcome to my daily walk. I mean, it's stunningly beautiful. And this is the equivalent of a main road where I am. So yeah, it's not the worst way to live, is it really? And what's even better is it's farmland everywhere. So everyone who lives around here has the same set of goals and faces the same problems, and you realise really quickly that it's a community. To say 2025 has been challenging so far would be a little bit of an understatement. It really has reshaped life in general, and yeah, some things have changed that you really wish hadn't. If you're a regular follower of this craziness, you'll have met the farm cat, Willow, and seen how, for some reason, massive connection, and follows me around like, yeah, connected at the hip. My on-farm buddy, definitely. So a few weeks ago, for no apparent reason, he just became really lethargic, and he's only a year old, and he genuinely is my best buddy. So he was whisked off to the vet, and as you always hope, it'll just be a pill or an injection and solve the problem. But it turned out that for some reason he was having failure of his organs. It wasn't anything he'd eaten, it wasn't anything, he hasn't been poisoned, it was just they were all shutting down. And the next day I had the phone call and he'd passed away. And for me, you know, I'm not a small chap, and I have a farm, and things die because that's the nature of farming. But for some reason, I mean, it really, yeah, it's very upsetting. And I've never really been a pet person in that sense, you know, something that lives with you day and night and is completely attached to you that way. So it's sort of knocked me for six, really, which is odd. I'm an adult, you know, I should be able to cope with that sort of stuff. And yeah, it sort of didn't really sink in until a few days later when I was burying him at the back of the house. And I really feel like there's a big part of the farm missing, and it sucks. because there was never any intention to have Willow. He turned up on the doorstep as an abandoned kitten, a few weeks old at the most, and yeah, so it sucks. It really does. So what I've decided to do, where I buried him, I'm going to put a tree on top. So yeah, but that was my June, and yeah, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just sort of really glad that the short time he was part of the farm, he had a good life, but it really sucks. Anyway, on with my walk. So one of my learnings throughout this whole process is to be organised, and from now on I'm going to try and be a bit more planned in how I do the vlogs. So next week's vlog, I'm hoping to answer any questions you may have, so put them down below, that would be great. I've had a few great ones already, so I know that I'm going to be talking about how did we actually find our off-grid homestead in Scotland, what was the process we went through, but there's plenty of space for other ones in next week's vlog as well. If you've enjoyed this, feel free to hit the subscribe button, that'd be great, down below, and the bell, and leave as many comments as you like. We always try to answer all of them. Sometimes it takes a bit longer to get them, but we will get there. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next week.